Good morning. Whoops. That's probably the most awkward beginning to a video ever. My hairy chest followed by the phone dropping. So I didn't do a video yesterday. I'm sure America came to a standstill, not knowing what to do with themselves without the sage advice of this idiot over here. But seriously, it's been a heavy time, and I didn't really know what to talk about. I'm really just feeling sad and feeling shocked, and I didn't really know what to offer beyond more of that. So I also feel really proud of Elephant and of our writers and our readers. We've had millions of readers over the last week on Elephant, reading about how to bring America back together again. Whether we're a Trump supporter or we're not a Trump supporter, we all are fundamentally good human beings, and engaging in hate has never solved any problem. I think there's a good quote about that by someone. Martin Luther King: hate has never solved anything. Love is the only solution. But what is love? Is love rolling over and allowing equal rights or health care to be gutted or our environment to be gutted? I mean, it was going to be pretty... Got to show you Redford here. This is Redford. In case you're feeling stressed out, just take a deep breath into that kind of relaxation. Oh, Redford. Little dork. Redford. He's a dork. When we're talking about Trump, he interrupts with his relaxation. He only rolls over like this for about 10 seconds, 20 seconds, and then yep, there he goes. Alrighty. Apparently I know him pretty well. So, it's a really hateful and rancorous time, and it's a very fearful time. And this is a reminder that fear is actually okay. If you come to a cliff, if you're running along, going for a jog, and you're listening to Eye of the Tiger, and everything's feeling good, and you come to a cliff, you should be afraid of falling off that cliff. Fear is just our biology telling us something is dangerous. But, so nothing's wrong with fear. In the immortal words of FDR, the only thing we have to fear is fear itself. The only thing we have to be afraid of truly is being caught up in the fear. So what do we do with the fear, which is just a fine instinct? I think in this case, I put up the John Oliver video. And if you're just tuning in, please say where you're from, like Delia from Pasadena, California. Ree wants to be my dog. I think I do too. Christine from New Hampshire. Terry from Seattle. Tatiana from South Dakota. Melissa from Garden Grove, California. Terry from Unknown. She's in a bunker. Rebecca from Detroit. Kim from the Third Coast Music City. I don't know what that is. Excuse my ignorance, so I'll give you a like and a love. Amber from North Carolina. Ken from Toronto. Robin from Twain Harte, California. Cindy from Houston. Okay, Houston. And Lori from Wauwatosa, Wisconsin, where half of all union households voted for a party that is actively trying to destroy unions. Amanda from Idaho. Leslie from Tustin. That sounds good. You missed me, so you went on a cruise. That sounds great. Sandpoint, Idaho. Where is everyone from? Let us unite. Whether Trump supporters or not Trump supporters, let us unite in love. Debbie from Norfolk in the UK. Lorelei from McKinney, Texas. McKinney. Emre, Yo-Yo from Turkey. Yo-Yo to you. Melissa from New Hampshire. Dennis from Gloucester. My bra. Tara Lynn from Pennsylvania. Stacy from the morning. Sheehan from Scottsdale, Arizona, which for some reason I shed in a Sean Connery accent. Charmaine from Cambridge, Massachusetts. Edie from Nova Scotia, where my mom lives. Jennifer from Sturbridge, Mass. Ree from Livingston, Montana. Wow, we are from all over. All right, I'm going to stop reading all this out because it's endless and cool. But just share it with each other. Share where you're from. Jason from South Africa. All righty. So if you have any questions, if you have any requests about what you'd like for me to talk about, specifically if you would not like me to talk about the Trump situation, I am happy to talk about anything. So basically, I titled this a sort of general title, which is actually a copy-paste from a text of what I just sent to one of my best friends. So one of my best friends is sort of, kind of conservative and kind of macho, and that's fine. I'm pretty macho, and I'm not that conservative, but I'm open to conservatives. I'm pretty moderate, and he's been reading these right-wing kind of hate sites. And so this is one of my just requests to all of you, that whether we're lefty or we're righty or we're uppy or downy or inny and outy, don't read lefty sites. Don't read righty sites. Don't read uppy or inny or downy or outy sites. Read journalism. Journalism may have a point of view. That is still good journalism. Journalism is not objective. Objectivity does not exist. You can't be objective about climate change. Journalism instead is founded on facts. So one of the number one ways, whether we support Trump or we don't support Trump, that we can help America is to come together around facts. And facts are kind of important. If, for example, you can't agree on facts and you're sailing a boat, you're going to sail into an island and ruin your boat. If you can't agree on facts and you're on a road trip, you won't get to your destination. New York City is that way. No, it's that way. Oh, the left-wing media said it's that way, so we're going to go this way. Oh, the right-wing alt-hate Breitbart site said it's this way, so we're going to go that way. We just need to agree that New York is that way, in my case. All right? So let's get all on the same page. Facts, journalism. So one of the number one, I really asked all of you, maybe Lindsay can put, or Ashley is the editor on duty, can put the John Oliver video in the comments. And if you can click on that, and go to minute 18 or 19 or whatever it was, he goes through a list of what we can do right now. And whether you're a Trump supporter or a not Trump supporter, right now, one of the things you can do is to subscribe, meaning money, meaning take some of your money and invest it in journalism. It only costs $1 a month, $3 a month, $5 a month is what I pay. Actually, I pay $5 a week for the Sunday New York Times and online access on all my devices. New York Times gets a bum rap from crazy right-wingers. You're crazy, because the New York Times is doing amazing journalism. They will criticize anyone, and yes, they do take points of view. Yes, they do make mistakes, and yes, their op-ed page tends to be more liberal, and yes, they tend to endorse left-wing candidates. That said, left-wing candidates tend to support our environment, which seems to be pretty important, whether you're left or righty. Climate change is going to bite all of us in the tush. Equal rights, which seems to be important, whether we're lefty or righty, etc. And they will always host great right-wingers on the op-ed page as well. So find your favorite journalism site, not Breitbart News, not some lefty crazy site like Think Progress. Breitbart and Think Progress both might do some good journalism by mistake once in a while, but that is not their mission. Their mission is to push an agenda. Elephant's mission, our only agenda, and we're very upfront about it, is to talk about what's good for us. And by us, I mean me. No, what's good for us, what's good for you, and what's good for our planet and our whole society. That is our mission. So if you're a Trump supporter, if you're an alt-right supporter, if you're a Tea Party guy, if you're a left-wing nut, if you're a hippie, whatever you describe yourself as, you can contribute your point of view to Elephant as long as it's thoughtful and accessible and helpful and fact-based. We will publish it on our front page. And this is the kind of media and journalism, we're independent, that I hope you'll support over the next 4 years. Alrighty? So that's about it. I don't really have much else to say, other than that we're heading into a storm. And that if, for those like my moderate right-wing friend who say, give Trump a chance, I agree. President Obama also has said, if Trump can succeed in being a president for all Americans, being compassionate, being open, if he surprises all of us, I will be the first to support him. Literally the first. I will run to support him. I will be like, President Trump, for emperor, because that's his next move. But as with myself, as with you, you can look at your intentions by who you surround yourself by and by your actions. And that he put the Mr. Breitbart News as special advisor to the White House, to the Oval Office, above even his chief of staff. That's like if if you're right wing and you're listening to this, if I took the craziest, nastiest left wing person ever who wanted to do horrible stuff to conservatives, if I put him in charge of Elephant, you would say, well, Elephant is clearly going left in a bad way. So it just shows your intentions. If Rudy Giuliani is in charge of our foreign policy, that's going to show his intentions. So moderate Republicans, moderate Democrats, we need all patriots. We all love America. We all are patriots. We care about America. And what does that mean? We're a democracy. In a democracy, dissent is part of patriotism, as in any good relationship. If you're in a relationship with a loved one and they can't be constructively, lovingly critical, you're not in a real relationship. You're in a sort of naive, worshipful, 12-year-old first love kind of relationship, which can be fun until it goes left or right. So I think that's about all I got to say. I want to thank our sponsors who are doing awesome stuff. Nutso is organic. It's a woman-owned company. If you're vegan, it's got a lot of protein. If you're not vegan, it has a lot of protein. It's yummy. It's amazing. It's in the comments. Or it should be. Maybe Ashley just joined. Wow. Alrighty. Well, let's get that John Oliver link in there, and let's get the. And if people want to click to minute 18, there's a list of things you can actually do right now. Got that, Ashley? And then let's put in Nutso, and then our other sponsor is Jade Yoga. So 90% of yoga practitioners, and by the way, about half of yoga practitioners are conservative. It's a very bipartisan kind of thing to do. Stretch and open up. Get a little exercise. Get your groove on. 90% of us are doing yoga on PVC mats, which are bad for us, bad for our children, bad for our dogs and pets, bad for the planet. So Jade Yoga will give you about a 10% discount if you use our code. And that's all I got to say. God bless Jade. If you like these videos, please support Jade. Please support Nutso. They're the ones keeping us in business. And Karen, this is actually, what do you call it? Linen? So it's meant to be wrinkled. It's Irish linen. The Irish are crazy that way. They have no respect for ironing. I'm part Irish anyway. So there you go. Alrighty. And can you put that John Oliver link in and get to minute 18? Boom. So our readers can read Elephant. Two other things. If you want to support Elephant, I'm not sure if you do, but if you want to, there's only 166 people here. Apparently when I talk about Trump, it's like 800 people are here per second. Right now it's only 176. So if you want to support this video, if you believe in this general message of coming together and fact, please give it a like or a love or a share. That's what helps it get beyond the algorithm in Facebook. Basically, Facebook squeezes everything down through its algorithm, and then it only supports stuff that gets tons of likes. That's why a lot of hate speech and memes and fake news have done so well on Facebook. And today, Facebook and Google and Twitter all announced that they're going to try and reduce fake news, which played a major role in this election. and hate speech. Obviously, all three of these measures from the three companies are incredibly weak and will be imperfect, but it's a great start. And I pray to Mark Zuckerberg that you stop being in denial about Facebook's role in supporting hate and fake news and smothering and killing journalism. Facebook used to support journalism and actually said we will support quality journalism as part of our mission. Then they went the opposite way about 6 months ago. And it's been really hard on Elephant. It's been really hard on all journalism. Facebook is basically co-opting and owning journalism and suppressing it by supporting, you know, if Aunt Sally says on Facebook, I want a cookie, or I hate Hillary, or I hate Trump, that will do far better than journalism in terms of their algorithm. This is their own stated policy. So please, if you want to support these videos continuing, give it a like, give it a love, give it a share. If you want to subscribe to Elephant, it's only $1 a month. And that pays for editors and writers to do good work for you. We believe in paying our writers, our best consistent writers. And if you want to write, if you're right wing, left wing, up wing, down wing, in wing, out wing, please write. We will feature your point of view as long as it's thoughtful and fact-based. elephantjournal.com/submit. And hopefully Ashley has put our subscribe links in there, Nutso, Jade with the deal, and you can please support our sponsors if you want to keep us around. Honestly, we're at the point where, you know, this is like an hour of my day and I'm a busy boy. I'm not too busy for this. I love doing this, but if it doesn't sort of pay the bills for Elephant, I have to stop. So if you want to keep these going, please support our sponsors or subscribe to Elephant or subscribe to our newsletter, which is free. If you don't have any money, you're welcome to support us just by reading. Every time you read Elephant, you keep us alive. So I'm going to go through any questions. That's enough of the plugs, and I will respond to your questions. Alrighty? Alrighty. And if you're just tuning in, say where you're from. It's kind of fun to see where everyone is from. Alrighty. Do-to-do. 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 All right, Catherine, do you have any advice for someone who is looking for more in-depth spiritual guidance, finding a spiritual teacher or mentor? Well, it depends what religion or non-religion you're in. If you're interested in Buddhism, you can go to your local Shambhala center. You can find a meditation instructor for free. It's like therapy, only you're not a problem they're trying to fix. You are fundamentally good, and it's free. Boom, Shambhala center. If you're Christian, I'm sure you could go to your local church and find a church that agrees with your values in terms of, you know, if you care about the planet or equal rights. Some churches are all about that, some aren't. And so I think that's pretty easy. I think the number one thing is to avoid people who are sort of into cult of personality, who have closed minds. Find someone who is actually open and curious and actually wants to help you instead of viewing you through the lens of their preconceptions. Sorry, Redford's being super cute. All right. I hope that's at all helpful, but feel free to ask me more if not. Bobby, left wing or right wing, still attached to the same bird? Yeah, except democracy isn't a bird. If you're, from my point of view, the reason I'm liberal is I think all human beings are fundamentally good and deserve equal rights. The founders felt that way too, even though they were obviously living in a wildly imperfect union. And it's, you know, we have to bend the arc of history to actually be equal for all sentient beings. We have to be good to our planet, or the planet will be bad to us. In our mountains, which I can look at right here, I'll show you. In Colorado, there are millions and millions of trees are dying because of the pine beetle, because in winter it never gets cold enough to freeze the pine beetle for more than a week anymore. So they just spread and spread and spread. They're killing all the trees. Same with the ash and the elm. And, you know, that's affecting 90% Republicans up in the mountains. And Republicans are suddenly climate change activists here in Colorado or in the whole Rockies. So this is really not a partisan issue. This is really just practical. The city of Miami is spending tens of millions of dollars to pump the water back out to the sea because of the rising sea levels. This is, you know, if you view climate change as a partisan issue, enjoy, because this is the last couple of years you're going to be able to do that. It's getting so bad that it's going to be clearly be a bipartisan issue and affect all of us over the next couple of years. Dot, dot, dot. What was Catherine's idea? I missed. Oh, yeah. Okay, so I mentioned that. Amanda, do I have any advice about overcoming anxiety? Number one, just breathe. Breathe into the anxiety instead of trying to avoid it. Positivity is all about avoiding what's happening, trying to gather good stuff to you and get rid of bad stuff. That's called suppressing or spiritual bypass or spiritual materialism. Instead, we have to grow up and we have to completely engage with our anxiety, but we have to have tools to do that, and meditation is a wonderful tool. We'll do 2 minutes of meditation instruction at the end of this video. But Ashley, if you want to put in Tonglen is a very powerful meditation. Pema Chodron teaches it. We'll put that blog in the comments, okay, for overcoming anxiety. Wendy, no DAPL, Day of Action today. Go to actionnetwork.org, or you could, you can blog about DAPL on Elephant. We've been doing a ton of, as I call it, DAPL, a ton of coverage of this. We've had tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of readers engaging through Elephant. So Wendy, feel free to contribute your passion to Elephant, and we'll share it on a far larger platform than you can through one little Facebook comment. Charmaine, could you talk about vulnerability and how we need to feel it in order to gain courage? Yeah, so in Buddhism they say soft front, like open heart, strong back, strong spine. So you have to be grounded and uplifted at the same time. Grounded into the earth, the stability, and then uplifted at the same time, and breathe. So vulnerability is wonderful because it's the gateway to being genuine. When we can't be vulnerable, we're being protective, we're being fake all the time. And that's incredibly tiring, and it's incredibly selfish. When we're being fake, we will use and abuse other people because we're just trying to protect ourselves. When we're vulnerable, we can be genuine, and we can be kind, and we can be empathetic. Empathy is the most powerful and transformative human emotion there is. There's a little quote for Lindsay. Ashley, the Taurus moon is really stirring things up. Do you have any tips for exercises during this period to relax? Ashley, if you could put the Taurus moon articles, there's like 5 of them on Elephant. They're all in popular section because everyone loves reading about that stuff on elephantjournal.com. So Askja Sanchez, thank you for your question. And there's like 5 really good articles about it on Elephant Journal right now. Can you put all of those in the comments, Ashley, or just link to the popular section on our main page? Deb Deep, of course I remember you, you crazy. Yeah, Stacy is pointing out where is the snow. So it's 70 degrees in Boulder, Colorado. We have had no rain and no snow for months. Normally we'd have a little snow, surprise, in September, and then a fair amount of snow in October, and tons of snow in November, and lots of sunshine, and it would be cold and warm and la la la. It's getting crazy. It's just been summer here for months. MJ, thank you for your sweet comment. Elephant Journal has so many beautiful things that help me and others, I'm sure. It's just amazing. Please contribute, write, get our newsletter, which is free. Yeah, this hat has become a sudden bestseller. I'm not sure what changed over the last days or week. I really can't place it, why it suddenly become a bestseller. If you want to get this hat, it's on elephantjournal.com/hats. And that's plural. Ashley, if you could put that in the link. And it's on what I call our Doomsday special. It's only $15 now. It used to be $35. And I do miss Obama already. And if you dislike Obama, remember, this is just kind of tongue-in-cheek. We actually don't think Barack is going to come back. It's not constitutional. La, 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 la. Although maybe this is referring to Michelle. Let's give a like or a love for Michelle if you like or love her. Heal yourself, heal the world. Yeah, all that sounds really good. You should write about that. Michael, and I quote, says, USA, USA, USA. I'll give you a like for that. Doop, 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 bonk, bonk. Iron my shirt. I have a lot of mothers out there. You're all mothering me. And support Nutso, because I'm Nutso for Nutso. It's Nutso. And Maria from Greece. All right, where's some comments or questions? Where's some comments or questions? Where's some comments or questions? Sophie Miller just joined, and I love you, Sophie. Ashley, are you putting all those links I'm mentioning? Remember when I discuss stuff, put in links about it so people can read it. Manhattan, Kansas, Kentucky, Lexington, Kentucky, live in Steamboat. Heather, hey, Coonawarra. That's not a place. You can't live in Coonawarra. Fran, what are we talking about? We're basically talking about whatever you'd like. Tasha, good afternoon from North Carolina. Send some love our way. Western part of state is dealing with several wildfires. Our air quality is horrible at the moment and no rain in sight. Much love to all our firefighters out there. There's another example of rising temperatures. Every year is the highest recorded. So let's do what we can, which primarily is voting for people who regard climate change as a real problem. If Republicans thought climate change was real, we would attack it with everything we had. We would treat it like a military problem. This is what we should do. We should have a whole World War III on climate change. A peaceful war on climate change. All of us together now. We need snow. Bark beetles are the worst. Slovakia, living in Denmark. Get the hat. elephantjournal.com/hats. Yeah, now the head of EPA, he's far more than a climate change denier. He's it's sort of like if you put, one of those horror movie stars in charge of nannying your children. It's basically like putting the fox in charge of the hen house. All right, dear fox, if you can make sure the chickens are closed up in their coop every night, if you can make sure they have their heat on and the food is out for the chickens, that would be great. And then you leave, and the fox just eats all the chickens within 5 minutes. That's exactly what Trump just did in terms of the EPA. And if you don't care about climate change, remember the EPA is also in charge of water quality. It's in charge of making sure companies don't put toxic stuff in your local lake or toxic stuff in your $89 facial scrub, right? The EPA is just there to protect you about stuff that you don't have time to relate with. Maitri is very good for anxiety. Maitri is self-love. That is Heather's comment. It's not really self-love. It's making friends with yourself. Self-love sounds like masturbation, and that's a different subject. Maitri is just making friends with yourself, which can be really difficult. But all of us can do it a little bit, 1% right now. Take a deep breath into your tension in your heart. Take a deep breath. Oh yeah, that felt good. I don't know about you, but that felt good. That's my weak attempt at a Leonard Cohen voice. Everybody knows. I won't try. I love Leonard. Joanne, how can you stay strong in your beliefs when you sometimes feel others are not on your wavelength and putting too much negativity your way? I don't want to be strong in my beliefs. I want to be open in my who I am. Beliefs are kind of solid thoughts. We should let go of that. Acknowledge our beliefs and then come back to the present moment. Stay strong in your present moment. The present moment will lead you to direct access to who you fundamentally are and to loving and liking yourself and others' goodness. If people are on other wavelengths and they're putting negativity, that could just mean that they're trying to give you feedback. And that could be helpful. We don't want to be yes-manny or clubby about getting feedback. If people are being negative, like I get a lot of negative comments, I know it's hard to believe, but when I talk about how I don't love Trump, I get some negative comments. You wouldn't think, right? I mean, all Trump fans are so loving, and yet somehow I get some hate from people. It's really surprising. But that's okay, because I know they're just as passionate about America as I am. And that's great. Their way of being passionate is to express hate toward people who might disagree. And none of us want to be that way. There's liberals who are just as hateful about what they believe in. So let's all let go of our beliefs and just focus on being present and being open and being friendly to ourselves and others. Obama is in Greece? What? All right, Bridget, how do I move past a huge hurt? Well, Ashley, maybe you could I wrote a blog called Letting Go. Letting go is hard. Letting go is ugly. Letting go is heavy. Letting go is difficult. Ashley, if you search Pablo Neruda and Trungpa and Letting Go, you'll find my blog. Letting go in the sort of spiritual world, everyone thinks it's like easy breezy, lighty whitey, lovey dovey. It's not. Letting go is like taking a hurt and being like, ah! It's like Superman. It's like you got to open up, and letting go can be tough. So big love to you, Bridget. Please read my blog on Letting Go. It might be painful, but it'll be a good kind of pain, like a relaxing kind of, you'll have to relax and breathe into that hurt, basically. So, as Winston Churchill said about something different entirely, the only way out is through. So don't avoid the hurt, just love yourself. Maitri, read that blog on Maitri, read the blog on Letting Go, and see me in the morning. All right? Bridget, please, I really beg of you to come back to another video and let me know how it's going, okay? All right. So if you're liking or loving this video, please give it a like or love so that it gets out beyond the choir. Heather, do you have any articles on incorporating pagan practices in addition to your Buddhist practices? Ashley, can you search pagan ritual? We have some interesting stuff on Elephant Journal about that. I don't know much about it. I don't know where people have time for all this religion and spiritual and pagan stuff, but it's awesome if you're into it. So, Ashley, if you can search pagan ritual, elephantjournal.com, and put it in the comments for Heather, who is awesome. Yeah, no rain for months in Greece either. Karen is excited to have a platform to share things she feels passionate about, like Elephant. Yay. There's some of the moon blogs are in the comments. Jay-Z, what did I have for breakfast this morning? Well, I'll tell you what I had for dinner last night. I had chili and nachos, vegan, with incredible probiotic hot sauce. Who knew that was a thing? A hot sauce with a live culture in it from this company, Picaflor, made here in Boulder from the farmer's market. And it's so good. For breakfast, I had coffee. Coffee, the breakfast of social media people everywhere. Oh, it's all gone. La la. Let go of your beliefs. Beliefs, you don't need to believe in anything if it's true. If it's true, then you don't have to believe in it. Like, you don't believe in science. You just know that it's true because it's been proven to be true. And if it hasn't been proven to be true, then it's not true and you don't have to believe in it. So science is ever evolving. Redford will make you feel relaxed. If you're feeling stressed out or anxious, just visualize Redford like this as your spirit animal. Redford is your spirit animal. You are feeling relaxed. Your anxiety is now in the sunshine, belly up, and you're napping. You're napping into your sadness. You're relaxing. All right. Redford. Slacker. Redford is your typical Boulder liberal, just lying around in the sun during the day instead of working for a living. That's the kind of comments we're getting. I blogged about how I actually wound up in a protest kind of accidentally, and I filmed it on Facebook Live. And a bunch of the conservative comments were like, yeah, typical liberals, instead of working for a living, they're protesting. You know, it was 9 at night. Most people don't work at 9 at night. And I would just point out that Donald Trump is continually bragging about how big his rallies are. Well, why are people attending the rallies instead of working? The Tea Party protested nonstop for, 8 years? Why aren't they working? So it's just ridiculous. Why do we have to have this partisan rancor on everyone? Protesting is literally the First Amendment, which is in front of the Second Amendment, by the way. The First Amendment is super important, whether you're conservative or liberal. If I see people peacefully protesting, and that's a key word, peacefully, nonviolent protests, protests as love, that is democracy in action. And you should be happy about that whether you're liberal or conservative, but it needs to be peaceful. Amanda, do you feel that establishing good boundaries is the best way to deal with narcissistic people? Just trying to prepare for the holidays, LOL. That's the question of the day. So, Ashley, we have toxic family holidays. Can you search that? Put that blog in the comments for Amanda. I mean, what are narcissistic people? We're all narcissistic. We're all a bit egotistical. We're all caught up in our own bullshit, right? So, what do you mean by narcissistic people? I don't think putting boundaries between yourself and people who are full of themselves is healthy. I think you don't need to put up boundaries if you're confident and grounded in yourself and who you are. You just got to practice this. This is the mantra of, oh my God, my Aunt Sally or my Uncle Larry or my Grandpa Theodore or whatever is like neurotic. Just brush it off. You are who you are. You're okay. If they're completely narcissistic and evil, like American Psycho, yeah, you need boundaries. But if they're abusive, yeah, you need boundaries. But if they're just crazy and neurotic, I actually did a video on that about my family, and I love my family, and they're actually pretty, well, they're nuts, but they're great. And that video is called How to Deal with Your Crazy Family, something like that. Ashley, can you just put the video in or the blog in? Either for Amanda? That's a great question, Amanda, because a lot of us are about to head into Thanksgiving land and Christmas land, right? La 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 la. All right, Jen. I'm trying to take care of my elderly parents and my two 90-plus-year-old aunts. Wow. Along with my own children and my dog, I feel like I'm losing my damn mind. Well, Jen, as they would say in Buddhism, just the fact that you feel like you're losing your damn mind, that awareness of you feeling like you're losing your damn mind, that awareness is enlightenment. So you're actually doing okay as long as you're aware that you're losing your damn mind. And by the way, everyone watching this video would be losing their mind if they were trying to take care of their elderly parents, their two 90-year-old aunts, their own children, and their dog. I feel like I'm losing my mind just thinking about that. Just reading your comment, I am losing all connection with reality. So, number one, have a sense of humor about it. Have a sense of empathy for yourself. Read that blog, Maitri. Sorry, my hair's so distracting. Read that blog, Maitri. Maitri. Take 2 Maitris in the morning and see me tomorrow. Bridget, big love to you. Lisa, how do you help a teen who gets anxiety attacks when they think about the fact that they will eventually die? Wow. Well, they will die. I think that's okay. So I think on some level you have to make friends with death. There's a wonderful Sesame Street episode on death. I've written about death. Ashley, I'm not sure if you'll be able to find it, but Sesame Street, death, children dying. If you can, those are sad words to put together, but if you can search that, it is important for children to understand death. And that it's not an awful, scary thing. We need to be able to make friends with the notion that we're impermanent. Impermanency or death is like the seasons. You know, summer just died and that's sad. But now we have beautiful autumn, and autumn is going to die soon, and then we have beautiful winter, and winter is going to die soon, and then we get spring, and then spring dies, and then we have summer. So there's some sense of impermanence is okay. And you know, maybe we want to live forever. I know it's a longing for a lot of humans, but there's some beautiful notion that we don't live forever, so we have to appreciate now. So the other thing is, Ashley, I blogged about the whole Carpe Diem, the 4 reminders. If you can put Carpe Diem 4 reminders, my blog about that with Robin Williams, that is great for every kid everywhere, because it's actually really hopeful and positive, but it's facing the facts about that. So Lisa, that's a very powerful question, and thank you. Letting go of a deceased loved one. Wow, you guys are not being easy on me today. Galen, well, in Buddhism, we do a ceremony called a Sukhavati, and letting go is actually for a deceased loved one, so it's for them. So there's some sense of you want to help liberate them to experience death. You don't want to hold them back, so you can let go just even for them, for their sake. You don't want to hold on. If I'm dying and I feel like everyone doesn't want to let me go, in a way that makes it painful, right? If I can just die knowing that everyone's happy and everyone's okay, and I can just let go into, you know, the backward dive that is death, into the unknown, that's going to be easier. Galen, thank you for your very powerful question. Yeah, the guy in charge of the EPA has no science degree. That could be okay if he respected science, but he doesn't. He doesn't even respect science. You gotta respect science, folks. Oh my god, bad hair day. All right. La 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 la. All right, my phone is about to die. Colleen, I was the victim of domestic battery a week ago. I'm very sorry to hear that, and I'm having a difficult time with everyone being disappointed in me for not being angry. I'm just incredibly sad. Words of wisdom, please. Well, Colleen, I would say sadness is wiser than anger. Anger just begets anger. Aggression begets aggression. Feeling sad means you're open, you're actually strong to be able to feel your heart in this time. So I did a video, Ashley, if you can put in the comments, about domestic violence. We have a lot of good blogs on it. Obviously, you should use the resources out there. Obviously, you may need to protect yourself and your loved ones from running into that kind of situation again. So huge love to you, Colleen. One of the people I love the most in my life, I won't say who, has gone through the same thing. And it's one of the issues I'm most passionate about. So we have a lot of blogs, Ashley, if you can put a couple of those with good advice, both spiritual and practical, in terms of how to deal with that. So everyone, let's give Colleen some love and support in this tough time. But sticking with sadness is not weak. We don't have to be angry to be powerful. Stephanie, I read in the news the other day, hopefully true news, not fake, that Trump is requesting security clearance for children as well. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, please put in my crazy family and domestic violence videos. All right, I think I have to wrap up before my phone dies. If you asked a question and I didn't get to it, please come back tomorrow and I'll answer it. And Ashley, whenever you can with the videos, just leave the elephant blog with the video in it, not just the video. So, Cheryl, you can't ask for closure. You can only control your own actions. So letting go is powerful, powerful, powerful. You may just have to let go of closure that is dependent on someone else. You can have closure with your own self and your own experience. Aaron, I've been reading Shambhala, wonderful book, and I cried with a patient for the first time yesterday, even though I was completely exhausted as a nurse. That's incredibly powerful, Aaron. Big love to you. Everyone, I wrote 10 Buddhist books that are great for beginners. Ashley, could you put that blog in there? Joe White, any advice when you contact people, friends to arrange stuff and they don't seem to get back to you? I'm always the first to contact people. Makes me feel so unimportant in people's lives. I try my best. Joe, I'm going through this right now with a sort of lady friend and not a girlfriend, but like a friend. And a lot of people kind of don't communicate like adults. They don't reply consistently. They're kind of self-involved. They only reply when there's something good for them. If that's the case, get new friends. That's my only advice. These friends are not worthy of you. They're not grown up. You can be clear with them. You can give them a last chance without being aggressive. You can say, hey, for a friendship, if we have a friendship, this has to be a two-way street. Please let me know if you'd like to hang out. Like I invited someone to Thanksgiving and they made other plans without even telling me. That kind of thing, you just cut them off. You can communicate to them clearly. But I learned this the hard way from my friend Dave, who actually works at Elephant. And he said, I was like, what do I do if they're not replying? He was like, they're just not friends. They're not grown up. They're not adults. Adults communicate. So it's not your problem that they're not getting back to you. It's not your weakness. You're not a bad friend. You're a good friend. So Joe, I empower you to love yourself, Maitri, and you can communicate clearly before cutting people off. You don't have to cut people off with a hard wall of hurt. You can just let go. They're not They're not ready to be friends right now. Chloe, Moon Newton. Waylon, you always say what I need to hear. I have typed this comment out so many times because I really just don't know how to thank you. I'll just say this. I've been let down by so many people that I appreciate you even though you don't know me. Well, I appreciate you and your very sweet comment. And if you want to read something that is very personal to me, I wrote a book called Things I Would Like to Do With You if you feel like reading it. It's kind of a fun reading. It's half about loneliness and half about love. All right. Mary Missy Taylor, thank you so much for these live chats. They're a great way to stop, check in, and gain a little perspective. Stop, check in, gain a little perspective. It sounds like a Supreme song. Keep them going, please. It clears my mind for the rest of the day. Blessings. All right, folks. If you've liked this video, if you appreciate these, it's Dibbin. Unfortunately, Facebook makes you look at yourself when you're talking, so it's really hard to not try and fix your face. But thank you for the reminder. It's like talking into a mirror for 10 minutes. Only you're not fully crazy because thank God you guys are giving me comments. So if you liked this video, please give it a like or a love or a share. That helps it get beyond the choir. If you want to support Elephant continuing to do these videos, please support our sponsors. There's 2 in the comments. They're great. They're eco. We only work with sponsors who I believe in. And what else? As soon as I hang up, you can click ding and get notifications on future videos. So together, let's make a kind America. Let's make a kind planet. And thank you. And I'll do this again. Oh, can we meditate? Nyenke, you're great. All right, so let's meditate for 2 minutes. So move your sit bones back and forth until they're kind of level and relaxed. Take a great posture. Let's all do this. If you're here, let's do this with me. Breathe, take a great posture and relax. Shoulders up, back, down. Feel your heart relax. Breathe. Be like Redford. Breathe in. Put your hands together or bow, whatever kind of posture you want to do. I dedicate this day to being of benefit. Please say that. Whatever your mission is, I dedicate this to be a benefit. This is not, we're not just doing this for ourselves. Find your breath in and out. Oh, meditation feels good. If you're distracted by me, if you're distracted by yourself, label it thinking, just notice it. Awareness is everything. Be aware that you're distracted and return your attention to your breath. Eyes are open. We're not trying to block out the world. If you're distracted by lunch, by to-dos, by emotional difficulty, by something good even, label it thinking. Return your attention to your breath gently. All right, folks. I love you all. Thank you so much for being here. I really do appreciate this. Subscribe as soon as I hang up if you want notifications. It'll be right there.